Twila Abrahamson Swan, Spokane City Councilwoman Betsy Wilkerson, Youth Representative Isaiah Dunn, NAACP President Curtis Robinson, Youth Representative Jada Richardson, Pastor Walter Kendricks, and Spokane Police Chief Craig Meidel, along with my co-anchor, Dan Kleckner. He'll be moderating your questions.
All right, Steph, thank you. Yes, I'm in the Connect Center right now, what we're calling the nerve center of tonight's conversation. Here's what we need you to do. We need you to call in. We have our reporting staff right here answering the phones, taking your questions, but we can't have a conversation if you don't call. Phone number, as always, 509-443-1111. The lines are open right now for you to call and ask a question directly to one of our panelists. Let's go to Dr. Clark.
We all know there's an issue nationally. But what do we know about Spokane? I have numbers to share with you. Keep in mind that according to the census data, 85% of people in Spokane are white, 2% are black, 2% are Native American. As an example of the disparity, in 2014, police made contact with more than 7,000 people. 6% of them were black, 3% were Native American. In 2018, 30% of black people in Spokane were subjected to force. 8% were Native American. So there is no doubt Spokane is part of the problem. As far as the makeup of the police department goes, there are 342 commissioned officers. 306 of them are white.
So, Dr. Clark, the protests show that there is a perceived problem, and the numbers show that that perception is accurate. So let's get to our first question right now. Our first question came over email, and it's for Mayor Woodward and Chief Meidel. It's a very simple one. Mary says, ask the mayor and police chief if they acknowledge that there is a problem with the police department targeting minorities more than white people. Again, this is addressed to the mayor and chief. We'll let them answer first and then open the conversation to everyone. Chief?
Thank you. So we worked with Dr. Burns at Washington State University several years ago to look at our self-initiated contacts. So when you're looking at calls for service, if someone calls the police department, we have to go. It doesn't matter what the demographics are, they're calling for a police response. So what we wanted to do was say, what are the ones that are self-initiated activities? And when Dr. Burns completed his report several years ago, he showed there is a disproportionality in contact. What the report didn't show is why is that occurring? And so one of the things that we did was work with Curtis Robinson about 2 years ago to say, okay, now let's look at this and let's look at the why. Let's look at what these numbers mean, and then let's look at what the next steps are as well. So fast forward to a couple months ago, talking to my staff, and what I told them is I want you to go and look at a year's worth of data, and I want it to be statistically relevant. And I want you to determine what was the nature of those contacts. So if these were self-initiated contacts, were these contacts related to a call that did not get connected to the call? Were these completely self-initiated? So one of the steps we're taking right now that I think will provide the data of what is the nature of that contact is diving down deeper into the why. We know the what, but what we're trying to figure out now is the why. So that'll take us a couple months, but we're working hard on that to figure out the why. In order to really be able to look at what we need to do to change that, we have to understand the why. So that's where we're at right now.
Well, you understand that change is needed.
So absolutely. But to make that change, you have to know what is it you need to change. And to say that we just need to change the number of contacts, we need to look at what is causing those contacts to occur. So you have to have that data to be able to figure out what is it, why is it, and then now we can decide, here's our plan moving forward.